Hi, wally.sears, Berkshire, Hathaway, and Ponte Vedra Beach today. I thought we'd do a little drive-through of old Ponte Vedra so you can get an idea what the different sections of old Ponte Vedra are like, and see what it's like to drive through old Ponte Vedra and just what is old Ponte Vedra. Well, we're going to find out. I'll turn the camera around and kind of walk and talk and show you what old Ponte Vedra is all about. We're driving down. This is Ponte Vedra Boulevard. On the north end of Ponte Vedra. We're still in Duval County. You'll see us the county line coming up here in a minute, and when it switches over to St. Johns County, then you'll see the Ponte Vedra line here. Where this car is pulling out right there, that's Duval Drive. That's kind of on the borderline of Ponte Vedra, and there's some super nice houses right over there. So there is see, it says entering St. Johns County right there. So now we're in Ponte Vedra, old Ponte Vedra. This is Ponte Vedra Boulevard. To the right there, that's San Juan Drive. We'll go down that road too. But Ponte Vedra Boulevard, there's a lot of construction going on. People want to, here's one going up right here. They tore a house down, they're building a new house. These are all oceanfront on this side of the street. We'll back out a little bit so you can get an idea of what the ocean side is like. These are the big, nice homes on Ponte Vedra Boulevard. And then to the right is golf course and Lagoon. So we're heading south on Ponte Vedra Boulevard. And you'll see that here's this one's under construction. It's going to get either a tear down or a renovation. Speed limit's 25 miles an hour along here, which is good all through Ponte Vedra. It's only 25. That's a Bobby McAlpine design house. Just went up. This one's a Star Sanford design right here. Brand new house just went up. These are all oceanfront, like I said. If those were to sell, they'd probably be around 30 million on these brand new ones that are just been built. There's that one's under renovation or a tear down. This one just got renovated. Nice one. This is a big lot. You can see the hedge in front of this guy's house where this red tile roof is. That's his yard. Here's a brand new one, just not this one, this one right here. All the construction vehicles are here. That's a brand new one going up. Really nice. Everyone wants to be on the ocean. And here's another. This was a tear down and a brand new house going up. You see it's concrete block. That's what people build on the ocean. That's highly recommended, concrete block, because of the hurricanes. Now you see these red tile roofs. Now this is starting the Ponte Vedra Inn and Club. Those are oceanfront hotel rooms. So we're coming into the Ponte Vedra Club complex. To the left over there are the hotels. To the right is the parking deck. There's a giant laundry facility on the bottom of this parking deck for all these hotel rooms. But we'll go through here. You can see the crane right there. They're doing a major multi-million-dollar renovation of the Ponte Vedra Club. It's going to be super first class. It was already nice. Now it's going to be uber nice. It'll be similar to the Breakers in Palm Beach or the Cloister at Sea Island. That's the inn, the main hotel inn, they call it, the conference center and dining, and then the hotel rooms to the left. These white buildings right here, those are brand new, just went up. They tore the tennis courts up and the golf and the and some parking, tore all that up, and now you can see how nice and big it is. That's going to be parking and fitness center, pool. Across the street's the new surf club, where the pool will be, in the oceanfront dining. One big construction zone right here. Probably another year and a half of this, but man, will it be nice when it's done. This is kind of the center of Ponte Vedra, all these old Ponte Vedra homes. Most of these people are members here at Ponte Vedra Club, and they come here for the beach access, golf, tennis, dining, fitness center, and fun living in Ponte Vedra. So now we're leaving the club property. This one house over here, the Ponte Vedra Club owns that. That's the driftwood house. They rent that out for families. I think they just bought this house too, and that's going to be that's a rental as well for the club, and that is a rental. So if you have a family, you can rent down here and rent a beach house. That's a big new modern house that just went up. This is an old original house. That's what they all used to be like. Look how little it is compared to the new ones. This is a new one. That's another Star Sanford design house. Really nice. A lot of cedar shake houses like that. That's the old Carter house. That's going to be renovated. This is another Star Sanford design house. Really nice. And here's a new one under construction over here. This is on the golf course side. So we're heading south, like I said, down Panavidra Boulevard. Here's a guy, little kid skateboarding down the sidewalk. So this sidewalk runs north-south all the way down Panavidra Boulevard. So you can bike or walk safely and not on the street. And so on the left side, your left is the ocean over here, and then these houses are on the golf course on that side. And then there's accesses. Every couple of houses there'll be a beach access. I'll show you a picture of one when we come up. So there's accesses here, but not parking. So that's somewhat of a controversy, because they say, hey, we got plenty of beach access. Like, here's a beach access right there, right in between those houses. But you're not allowed to park here, so you can bike or walk to the beach access, which is great if you live right across the street. But if you live far away, you're kind of out of luck. You got to ride your bike. So continuing on, more houses under construction here. That's a brand new house, super nice house right there that just got finished. Here's another one under construction. You can see a concrete block, reinforced concrete with rebar. They build them very solid here. Here's another one under construction. That's a Star Sanford design house. There's a beach access right there. Continuing on. 25 miles an hour, which I like. I'm going 20 right now because I'm doing this video, but too bad for the people behind me. I'm showing all the oceanfront side mainly. And we'll ride on down here. There's some more construction homes down here. This one right here, that just got renovated. It's an oldie. This was one of the first big new houses that was built. It's on a double lot, kind of Mediterranean style. Really nice. This one's new. That's a Kronk Duke design house. Very nice. Here's a lot. If you're looking for an oceanfront lot, here's one right here. It's already scraped, ready to go. 9.5 million. And you could build something like this house. Here's an old one that got renovated right here. Here's an old one that got renovated. Here's a new one that was just built, really nice. Across the street, there's one being built. That's a spec home right there. I think they want 12 million for that. So it's about 12 million for a nice one on the golf course side, compared to almost 12 million just for a vacant lot on the beach side. So that's kind of your choices. Beach side, 12 million to start for a lot, maybe 10 million. And to build on the beach, you could run your numbers at like 1,000 a square foot, maybe 1,500 a square foot for a really nice one. Maybe 8 for a little bit not quite as nice, but here's a new one right here. But it's a little more expensive on the beach because you got to do those pilings, those big pilings. This low ranch right here, that was there a long time. That's a kind of a fun old house. So we're coming up to what most people can kind of consider old Panevedra, the Panevedra Lodge, which is a sister club also owned by Panevedra Inn and Club. The Gate Corporation is right up here. It's the Panavidra Lodge. It's also a beach club, kind of slash country club. And it's right here. So there's a waiting list for Panevedra Club, and there's a waiting list for the lodge right here. Beach access and dining and pool and fitness center. So we'll turn right here on Corona and head west. Oops. Now we're heading west. And when you're away from the ocean, you see this lagoon here. There's all kind of, they call them lagoons, or a lake you could say, but we call them lagoons. And we'll cut down this road right here. This is Rudiel Drive. This is a nice road as well. This is sort of a new section of Pontevedra. When I was a kid back in the early 70s, I think, maybe late 60s, this section of Pontevedra was cut out, and they cut roads in here. Every one of these houses on both sides of this street are on the lagoon. So these are all waterfront, lagoon front, and they're kind of older ranch houses, big lots. Here's a picture so you can kind of see what they look like. I'll do it on this side so it's not, this sun's a little better. That's an example. They're kind of low ranch, single story. And here's a lot right here. They tore a house down, ready to build. So you're gonna start seeing, here's one over here. They gutted this one. They're gonna keep that low ranch, but they're gonna fix it up into something a lot nicer. So we're gonna get into a section where they're tearing down these ranches and building very nice two-story homes. And they got the room to do it because these are big lots. Here's a new one right here. There used to be an old ranch house. They tore it down and they built that house, built this, really nice. Like I said, these are all on the water, both sides of the street. This is a very cool house right there. It's got a cedar-shaped roof on the water. Really nice. You can see all the bridges over here. We're going over a bridge. Let me back out a little bit. And then you can see there's a block house over there, concrete block house, brand new going up. So we're continuing down Rudiel, really tall palm trees. There's that cool house. That's a new one right there. That used to be a little ranch, and now look at it. That's what you're starting to see on this Rudiel Drive, and that's a cool one. That used to be a ranch, and they built that house. My cousin used to live right there, Andy Sears, and the house is still there. They fixed it up. So let's continue down Rudiel. What do we got? My friend Mac McDaniel lived there. That one's still there, still a low single-story ranch. Here's a big one. He tore our old one down and built this new one. Here's another one, another big one that was a tear down. They built this one's for sale right now. I think it's 4.5 million. It's got a pool on the water. That one's one to look at. That's a cool house. Let me let this guy pass by. Another tear down, and they rebuilt to this house. Mercedes SUV in a rush. So that's what you have it for Rudiel Drive. This is a good street to be on because it's it's just one street over from Ponte Vedra Boulevard where we just were, and you can bike or walk to the beach, and so yeah, and you got your water. Now these over here, this little section in here does not have a lagoon. This is one of the few little sections of Ponte Vedra that doesn't have, like this house. This is for sale right now. It's a nice house, but there's no water in the back. But they got a nice pool back there. And then all these over here are all new, and they're all nice. Look at this. Nice, nice, nice. Nice and new, big. All those are on the water, on the big expansive lagoon. So now we're coming up to Solano Road. This is a good road. I give this road a B-. These are nice houses. It's a kind of a busy street. That's why I give it a B-. But when we go by here, you can see the lagoon in the back. When we pull up here, little bridge. You can see all that water. That's the lagoon back there. And on this side, you can see the lagoon. But as far as streets, if I was going to live in Old Panavidra, Solano, it's a little busy for me. It's kind of a cut-through road. You can see the 25-mile-an-hour speed limit, which is throughout Panevedra, 25 miles an hour. So you're supposed to go slow through here. So that's good for biking and walking and kids and things like that. So we go down here, and this is right at this intersection is Christ Episcopal Church. There's a great kindergarten here. I actually went to kindergarten at this church, and it kind of serves Old Panevedra. It's been here forever. I'm 67, and I went to kindergarten here, so that gives you an idea. Now we're on San Juan Drive. I like San Juan Drive. This runs the whole north-south through Panevedra. It kind of parallels the beach. So Ponte Boulevard's on the beach, and then this is the next street inland. All these houses, they're either on the golf course or on the lagoon. That's what's good about Old Panevedra. Every lot is either going to be Oceanfront, Lagoonfront, or golf course. You can see the nice oak tree canopy. And again, here's an example. Tear down a ranch, built a nice house. Tear down a ranch, built this nice house. And here's a nice, well-kept ranch. All these little single-story ranches, eventually they're going to get torn down. They're probably right now $2.5 to $3 million for a tear down. If you get one for $2.5, that's a buy. Here's a sign, 25 miles an hour. I'm going 12. Here's a cool house. That's a Star Sanford design. That's right on the golf course. Really nice house. Here's another one, new house. That's kind of what Panevedra's getting like. They're getting rid of the ranches, and they're building the 2 stories. And they're filling up the lots. So we continue down Panevedra. Through Panevedra, we're heading north now. And yeah, so there's not a ton of traffic on these roads. Here's a dumpster out in front of that. That's a ranch. That's a perfect example of a tear down or a major renovation. This one here's same one here. Little old ranch house, well kept, but kind of old and dated. There's another one. A lot of, if you see those kind of houses, oh, here's a biggie. Look at that one. They tore that house down. And here's another big one. These are big, expensive houses, and they're not on the ocean. They're on the lagoon. And people love this little section of San Juan Drive, because now we're getting back close to Panevedra Club, and you can walk right to the club. And here's the golf course right across the street. Moving my camera around. This Star Sanford design right there, that's on the lagoon. So Star Sanford design, that's an architect that does a lot of these houses down here. Go down here. And now that's Miranda Road. If we took a right there, that we'd go over a bridge, and that would take us back to the club, all that construction that we went by. So we'll continue down here. These are all really nice houses on the right side of the street. They're on the lagoon. And now starting here, these guys on the right, they can see, they got a beautiful view across the lagoon over to the Panevedra Club, and it looks beautiful at night. The hotel's all lit up, and you got lagoon, golf course, and then a pretty hotel view. So, and it's a nice, you think, oh, I don't want to live across from a hotel, but it's a nice country club hotel, nice. And you can just walk over there for dinner, drinks, brunch, get the New York Times and have coffee and oatmeal with blueberries on it. These are all, this is one of my favorite sections right here, because you can walk right over, oh, snow cones. What are these, food trucks? For the golfers, maybe? Here's a little practice screen too. This is fun. If you live in this area, you can come over here. Here's a guy practicing his putting. I think I know that guy. He's practicing his chipping out of the sand trap. Let's go down Pablo Road. So there's, yeah, that's a little chipping green right there. That's a fun place, and you just park right there and go on the chipping green. So Pablo Road, this is a good road to be on. They're either on, these are all golf course lagoon lots as well. One kind of maybe negative on this, this is interesting. That was my old pediatrician. He built this house brand new back in the early 70s. It was in Southern Living magazine as a state-of-the-art smart home back then. And he's passed away, and a new family from Atlanta bought it, and they fixed it all up really nice, and it's really very cool. There's another big nice new house. And here's a modern house. Look at this house. This is a modern house. It was a old kind of modern, like 70s modern. It's been updated, really cool. Now what I was saying, Pablo Road, this is like Ranch Home Central right through here. So a lot of people are going to be buying these and tearing them down and building new nice houses, and I'll show you some examples. But this side of the street on the right over here, backs, you got all these are golf course on both sides, but on the right side, Panevedra, well, it's A1A, or we used to call it the Panavidra bypass, and the speed limit out there is like 45 miles an hour. People go 60. I'm gonna park right here for a second, let this Porsche guy go by. Of course, he's pulling in the driveway behind me. Anyway, so these guys have a little bit of traffic noise. So just FYI, if you're looking over on that side of the street. If I was gonna live on this road, this is Pablo Road, I'd live over on this side, a little bit quieter, and you have nice, expansive golf course and lagoon views. Again, 25 mile an hour, not many people on the street. It's great for kids, safe. Here's a ranch house that needs to be redone. Here's another, this ranch house has been redone, it's nice. But here's a prime example. They tore down a ranch and now they're building this. And that's, this one's being built by Dreamfinders. They're a good builder, luxury home. Dreamfinders, Marcus Mead. I know Marcus, he does a good job. And if you're looking for a builder, that's one to put on your short list. You could get a house like this, a ranch, for 2.5, 3 million, 3.5 million, and build a big nice house. But again, Pablo Road, a lot of ranches, and people are fixing them up or tearing them down. Here's another big one that was, I bet that one they added on to and built. You can see how big the yards are. All the yards in Panevedra are big because this was developed back in the day when they had big yards. You know, new communities today, they have super small yards, but Panevedra's all big yards. And like I said, everyone's on the golf course, which is great. You can use the golf course as like a nice backyard after the golfers are done at the end of the day. Kids like me used to go out there and play on the golf course. In the summer, it stays light till 9 o'clock or 9:30. Here's a new one going up right here. Again, they tore that house down and now they're building a new one. This will give you a little glimpse of the golf course out here. See if I can zoom in. can see the houses over there, and they all look out over the, in between here and that White House, there's a lagoon. So it's a big wide open space of groomed, nice green grass and water. You can see the crane back there. That's where the Panavidra Club's getting renovated. And we're coming down here. We'll show you a nice house. It's, you know, showed you that Marcus Mead builder, that he's a builder for Dreamfinder Homes. And the Dreamfinder CEO used to live right here. And now it's for sale. I think it's 10 million, I think. That's a really nice house. It was in a magazine. It's on the lagoon. It's on the lagoon and then golf course. Here's a little side street, Pablo Terrace. Just a few houses down there. That's kind of a, you know, a little street no one ever goes on, but there's some nice houses down there. Here's a new house that was tore our ranch down and built this one. And we're coming up to this little space right here. You can see, we'll kind of cross over the golf course, and you can see what I mean by houses on the golf course. Here's a guy. These guys are teeing off right here, and you can see the houses behind them. So all the way down on both sides of the golf course are houses. So if you like living on the golf courses, I think great, because you can, after hours, like I said, you can send the kids out and they can play on the golf course. It's fun to, you know, throw the football, the frisbee, run, you know, go for runs in the morning or whatever. Also, there's now we're coming back up to San Juan Drive. We were just on San Juan Drive. We're making a big loop here. So I'm gonna turn off the camera and we'll turn it back on where we left off. There's the Amazon guy. There's someone pulling into that nice house that Star Sanford designed, going into the garage. All right, I'll catch you in a second. Okay, now we're back to the this little putting green and practice range over here. It's really not a practice range, it's a putting green. And now we're continuing on San Juan Drive, heading north. And there used to be a little baseball field right here when I was a kid. Now there's a house right there. There's a vacant lot. A lot of these are big new houses. Here is here's a buy. I'm always inquiring about this guy right here. I knocked on this guy's door. It's an old rundown ranch on the lagoon. And eventually that's going to be torn down and they're going to build a new big house on it. And here's an example of a new big house. Something like that will go on it. Or something like this. Here's another Star Sanford design house. This used to be an old beat up ranch and she designed this house. It's got a pool in the back and it's on the lagoon. And you can, we'll go back up, drive up over here. You can see the lagoon in the backyard of these houses. Right up here, you can see it up there. There's a kind of a nice little cut through. You can look through. Here it is, right here. So there's the lagoon. It's pretty big out there. Let me zoom in a little. You can see the crane way in the background. That's the Panevedra Club. So we'll come back over here. Let's go through Panevedra Point. These are condos right in the middle of Panevedra. Panevedra Point. These are kind of cool. These are, you know, if you look on like a Zillow map, you'll see prices in Panevedra of, you know, 4, 5, 10, 18 million, and then you see this little enclave in here and it's like 800,000, 1 million, 1.3, and they're condos. And these are kind of cool because You're right in the heart of Panavidra, and you can walk, and I mean walk, to the Panevedra Club. And it's a cool walk. You walk right over this little pedestrian footbridge right to the club. And these are the condos over here. They have garages, and they're either on the lagoon or the golf course. My cousin Andy lives right in there. And then, so those are the condos. They're right around $1 million, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. And then they're on the front part of this development are these little kind of duplexes, single-story duplexes. They got, they're more like a home. But this is called Panevedra Point, and wow, location is unbelievable. It's right in the middle of Panevedra. Before, when I was a kid, these were called the Lagoon Apartments. And one of my friends' grandmother, Gigi, lived here, and we'd come over here for peanut butter and jelly sandwiches after swim team. Continuing on Ponte Boulevard, San Juan Drive. Again, more golf course. And Panevedra, old Panevedra, this is not gated. You can just drive in here, which is good, I think. Because when you have a gate, you get bogged down at the gate. All the landscapers, tree trimmers. So there was a house here, they tore that down. It was a decent house, and they tore it down, and now they're gonna build a brand new one. I know I'm talking a lot about tearing down and building new, but that's kind of what's going on in Ponte Vedra Beach. There's a lot of these old ranches, and they're tearing them down and building new. We're coming up to, here's some job sites right here. They're keeping these ranches and just fixing them up. This house in front of us right here, that's a big one. They tore one down, and they're built this really big one right on the lagoon. We go around this curve, and here's some guys teeing off. They're teeing off. This is a little par 3, and they're gonna hit over to the green on the other side of the lagoon there. So now we're coming into Panavidra Circle. I like Panavidra Circle. This is where I grew up, and it's the only place where it has this big tree canopy, very shady back in here. And I just like living in all these trees. There's another Star Sanford design home. You can kind of get a sense for her look. Let me let this Defender get through here. That's all you need. Here's my old house, 38 Panavidra Circle. It's still there in the trees. And it's an old ranch. Maybe that'll be torn down. It'll be sad. But right next to my house, my good friend used to live right here, and look at that. She had an old ranch, and now it's a big and fancy house. Same with this one over here. People like living on this Panavidra Circle because of the trees, and look how narrow this road is. It's like a single track little road, and this tree canopy is unbelievable, and you can literally walk to the beach from here. People love that. These interior homes, this little guy, these are the few handful of houses that are not on the beach, lagoon, or golf course. They're kind of this is called Pontevedra Circle, so these houses on the right that I'm showing you here, they're in the center of the circle, so they don't have any kind of a view, but they're less expensive. They still got the nice trees. Here's a guy, he's on the inside of the circle, and he went ahead and built a big nice house right there. And then on this side, here's another Star Sanford design. This one's beautiful. It's on the golf course. Beautiful home. Great backyard. You should see that backyard. Here's a vacant lot ready to build. And there's an example, big expansive backyard there on the golf course. Ranch. Back it up. See how narrow this is. Amazon delivery guy. And they tore this house down. Look at this big lot. That's on the inside of the circle. You can see there's no golf course or lagoon or anything. But he's got a big, nice lot. They're gonna build a big house. They're gonna build something that's gonna be something like this. So now we're back out to where we started on Panavidra Boulevard. Wow, so there you go. We went all through Panavidra Boulevard, Pablo Road, San Juan Drive, and even Panavidra Circle where I grew up. And we saw the construction at the Panevedra Club. And that kind of gave you the feel for what it's like in old Panevedra. The good thing is you're probably gonna be on the golf course, lagoon, or if you're really going all out, you're gonna be right on the ocean. And I help a lot of people move to Panevedra and find the best house, the best location, and what's good and what's bad. I'm a Panevedra insider. I grew up here, still work, live, and play here. And I know a lot about Panevedra. And Old Ponte is not the only game in town. There's also the gated communities that are sort of around Old Ponte Vedra. Marsh Landing, Plantation, Sawgrass, Fairfield. Those are all nice gated communities, golf course, tennis, and they're kind of country clubby. So Ponte Vedra's old school. Doesn't have, that was built before a gated thing was a thing. So anyway, yeah, hit me up if you want to check out some of these homes or different areas of Panevedra, and we can get you situated right inside Panevedra, and I'll set you up with activities and meeting people, and you'll be an insider in no time.